For more, we are joined now by retired U.S. Navy Captain Garri Tabach, former commander with the NATO Anti-Terrorism Center. He's joining us from New York. Garri, a major rescue mission like this, deemed as one of the most complex American rescue operations, at least in recent memory. So what does this all indicate about the capabilities of the American Army?
Well, it shows the professionalism. It shows that the precise actions that we take and coordination among CIA, among armed forces, among the State Department and the White House. A lot of people said for the last couple of days, President Trump didn't look too good, not rested. And that is because he was awake for 2 nights, watching and getting briefed on maybe hourly basis that what is going on, where that one of the pilots or weapons officer was worrying about it. It is the great training that our military goes through. It's daily training for years. And this is the only way you can pull off an operation like this. We all go through this escape and evade training. It is the attention to detail. All those things in combination and all that hard work that has been done daily by our military, and not only the special operations guys who are doing it, but also support troops that are able to pull all this together and to extract. It is also the wisdom and the trickery of military action, because military, it's not just art, it's also science that takes these things into account. We were able to distract and create decoy for Iranians circling around as though we're looking in one spot for this weapons officer, but in reality, we were actually extracting him in a completely different area. And that way actually lured them out and were able to destroy the enemy forces that way. So there were a lot of things that came into play. But again, it's professionalism, and it is the true allies that we have in the face of Israeli armed forces.
Yeah, incredible details as we do continue to learn more about this rescue operation. What happens next, especially with the U.S. strategy going forward with this war? Militarily speaking, what will an operation look like to unleash hell on Iran's power plants and bridges like the U.S. president is vowing by Tuesday evening? What does that look like?
Well, I don't know what it would look like, but it will be hellish for them. I think that, nailing it to 1 day or 2 hours, we know that President Trump sometimes, he says this hour, that day, but it is not an exact science. This is when the time is right, when the situation is correct, this is when he will order our forces to strike. But I think that for the Iranian, whoever is in charge there, who thinks in charge, is not willing to negotiate with President Trump, although President Trump is always open to negotiate, they have to realize that they're going to die very soon if they're not going to do that. And we see by the destruction of the bridges is that their routes of escape are also being eliminated. So even though that they're hiding among civilians, and they're asking their civilians not to give away the position and the location of the Iranian authorities, that the civilian population there hates their government so much that they're actually cooperating with what's so-called the enemy of Iran, such as Israel and the United States. So the population there, by and large, is actually on our side rather than on the side of their government.
Is it likely that the rest of this campaign could still be fought from air if targets are now power plants or civilian infrastructure? Or would boots on the ground be needed for a total victory that the U.S. president is hoping for?
It's difficult to say because I'm sure maybe there's some, like our Green Berets, who will be out there teaching how to resist or how to evade the government there, whoever is in charge there, which is also not clear. We see that one of the major cities in Iran now is already overtaken by the people, and the IRGC, or Islamic Revolutionary Guard, is out of there. So the people are starting to rise up, even though our government and the Israeli government is asking them not to do that until we're done with the military operation, because we don't want to kill them, we don't want to harm them, and sometimes in a fog of war, we can mistake those large crowds of people for the enemy targets. So there is some chaos involved, but we will see. I don't think the President Trump or our military leaders will disclose such things, or Israeli leaders. But if it is done, if there will be a ground operation, I'm sure it will be very limited, and I'm definitely sure that it will be coordinated with the Israelis.
Retired U.S. Navy Captain Garri Tabach, great to have you with us on I24 News today. Thanks for sharing that insight.
Bye-bye.